Okay, you may ask, what does it take to make one of my films? Well, the first thing that I have to do is I come over to the the audio, and I start this up. Next, we have to bring the boom down. We bring the boom down and turn the mic on. And we got it on. Set this down. Raise the boom back up so it's out of camera's view. And I put on the headphones. As you can see here. And we take the remote right here and hit the record button. Now I can adjust the audio by looking at the audio meter here, and we want it to stay around minus 12 dB, and that looks pretty good. So then, in order to get everything going, let me set that down, and I can remove the headphones because now I have an audio check, and we place the headphones back up there. Now, what happens next is I start the camera rolling over here, and we're going to turn on this light so that I can see what's going on. And now we have to get this camera rolling up here. Well, that's done inside the computer room here. So I've already previewed and adjusted the camera, so we'll stop the preview and we'll start recording. And then I come back over here and I start this camera and pick up my clapboard, which I have discussed in prior videos, and we'll get a take going. Classic airplane in 3, 2, 1, mark. Well, I shot a little bonus footage before this started to show you what I have to go through to get these movies set up so that I can shoot them. A lot of work, but no big deal. There's some people saying they're going to do it. Hey, let's have some more video. That works for me. So anyway, what we got going here now is I have to build an airplane for classic for someone. So I built a lot of these Continentals, and I'm going to build a Continental here, but I think I'm going to do it a little bit different. I think that I'm going to use the Millennium Wing because I really thought that was a good way to go. They built a nice, light, straight Millennium Wing. So I'm not going to go too much into the layout of this, except for that I need an airfoil. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an airfoil off of this, and I certainly wish that I had some of Tom Morris's material for patterns, but I don't. So we'll just do it this way. Well, I've already shot this video, but I lost it because as I was shooting it, we had a power outage. Here, we had a power outage, and all that footage was lost. So now I have to explain it all again. I apologize for not getting stuff out in a timely manner, except I didn't figure you guys wanted to watch me sand too many more airplanes. So we just, you know, kind of went away with that sanding business. And I owe a classic airplane to a gentleman, and I'm going to build him a Continental, because I know how to build these relatively quick. However, this Continental is going to be with a Millennium wing in it. It doesn't say you have to build it as it was said to build. It just says it has to have the same numbers. So that's what we're going to do. Now, that's going to be the first part of this, is going to be the wing. Of course, it won't take much to do the rest of this. It's this airplane builds absolutely quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wood chopping in my pile, and we're going to pick out enough wood for 48 ribs, because it has 12 per side times 2 is 24, times 2 again is 48, and we'll just go from there. Well, I went to the wood pile and I did a little bit of shopping. I got more out than I needed, but we have enough for the spar, and I believe the ribs. And what I'm going to do here, and I don't know how the audio is going to sound because the mic is up overhead now. As I showed in the very first part of this video, I'm trying to do things a little bit differently with this camera over here looking down on the bench. But I'm going to run the table saw, so if it's a little noisy, I'll try to cut the audio down. But what I've decided to do, instead of cutting each piece and going through it, is I tape these all together, and I'm going to section these up so I can strip the ribs all at once. So let's give it a rip. Kind of want to figure out ways to do things a little faster than I normally do, so that's the reason for that. So I figure I get 5 out of each one of these, and there might be 7, I can't remember, but I get 5 stripped out of each one, so that's 15, 30, 45 ribs. We need 48. I think we might get more than 5 out of this, so if I have to cut another sheet, I'll cut a piece off of it, so not a big deal. Now, as I shown in the last video, that when the power went out, the footage was interrupted, and I did the airfoil. The airfoil somewhere. Well, you have to take my word for it. I drew the airfoil out on a piece of paper, and it's exactly the same as the airfoil I have already made. So we're going to go with this. The only thing is that the root rib is a little longer here, so I'm going to have to cut it separately. I'll have to, maybe that's where we'll use those 2, 4, yeah, that'll work perfect. So let's do that now. We'll cut the root ribs with the correct length here. And I'll just do them the old way of doing things, which was I think by eye, but yep, time for a new blade before we get started, because I don't want to. I gotta tell you, if you use good sharp blades, replace the blades often, and you don't try to build a whole airplane with one blade, not only will it be easier, but it's safer. You're not going to be pushing real hard to try to go through the wood. Let the knife do the work. So, let's do this. We'll cut two of these because I know that the center ribs has an extremely long cord on it. I think it's almost 11 inches. Let's see what it is. Yeah, so it's make sure that we can do it. I try to recheck things before I go too much farther, so we don't get half built and find out, oh no, we have a huge problem. And this center rib is the, okay, so this is the correct one. This was the old way I used to cut strip ribs, just by, basically by eye. And there's nothing wrong with it. I built hundreds of airplanes. And I'm not kidding, hundreds of airplanes using the old methods. Just a little slower that way. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a rib here so I can gauge the thickness and make them the same. So we'll cut one rib in the rib jig. And trust me, this rib right here is exactly the same as a Continental. Exactly. Just the way it works out. I mean, if you're in any doubt, unless it's a real radical, a totally different airfoil, like a Yatsenko, and I'm not sure that a Yatsenko airfoil would be that much difference. You'll find that all these airfoils that we use are within a pencil line of each other. SV11, pretty close to the same thing as a Geobolt. cherries. It's going to be pretty close to a nobler. Put in a pencil mark. So I think probably around summertime, when I get caught up on all these projects I have, we're going to build an airplane with a diamond airfoil, and I'll show you that that works just fine as well. We're going to cut a few ribs that are longer for the roof, and I can't get them in the jig, so we'll cut them out of the jig. I think we'll probably do about 8 of those. That would be 2 ribs worth. If you have any questions, ask in the comment box, ask on Stunt Hangar, send me an email. Carrier pigeon, smoke signal. So basically I'm going to stand here at the bench until these are done. So tonight's video will be short because we're cutting parts, but I'll go ahead and post this up so I can get a video up today. So first, set your goal. What is your goal? You want to have an airplane done in 2 weeks, framed up 2 weeks. Next, gather your wood. Look at your set of plans and see what it's going to take. You can estimate it in your mind if you've been building long enough. So estimate your wood. Pick it carefully. Straight grain, light wood. Then set your goals. The goal for tonight is we're going to cut the pieces for the wing. That includes the spar and 48 rib sets. And I should be able to do that this evening. However, it's for you to watch me cut 48 pieces of wood. I mean, it's kind of like watching me sand. I'm sure you guys are tired of watching me finish airplanes and sanding. So we're going to cut the camera, and when I come back tomorrow, I should have all the pieces cut, and we'll start putting the wing together tomorrow. I'd like to see the wing together tomorrow, but you know, I can't make a promise at that because I don't know what else is going to come up in life, but we'll certainly give it a try. So I'm going to see if I can find some footage in my stuff and do whatever, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. We're, I think, 19 away from 500, and it's only 500 more, so if you know somebody who builds and flies control line, I hope I'm getting those RC guys, you know, to see if they'll kind of convert, you know. I certainly like my video on the FAA, the FOD walk down, and all that, and I sure hope you guys understood what FOD is. It's foreign object damage, and only most of you Navy guys will know what that is. So, until I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. See ya!